For 10 years, they called him the madman of the dust. They threw coins at his feet. They told him his seed was dead, and that he was a fool for wasting his life on it. What none of them knew, was that in 1 year, they would all be starving. And the madman was about to save every single one of them. 10 years earlier, the earth was unforgiving. It was a land where the sun baked the soil into cracked stone, and rain was a myth told to children. When the old man arrived in the valley, he didn't bring carts of gold or weapons. He brought a single, ancient seed. A seed that required something no one in the valley possessed: time. The people of the valley were survivors, but they were impatient. They planted shallow, fast-growing crops. They wanted immediate results. Within weeks, their fields would turn a bright, fragile green. The old man did not plant a field. He chose one single patch of dirt. He spent days just breaking the surface, digging a hole deeper than any farmer ever would, burying his seed in the cold, dark. When the neighbors harvested their quick crops, they sold them for fast silver. They bought new clothes and celebrated. They looked at the old man's empty patch of dirt and thought he was a fool. 1 year passed, then 3, then 5. The old man's dirt remained completely barren. Every single day, he carried water from a distant well, pouring it onto a patch of ground that gave him absolutely nothing in return. The mockery became relentless. The wealthy farmers called him the madman of the dust. They threw coins at his feet and told him to give up. They told him his seed was dead. The hardest battle was not the mockery, it was the silence of the earth. 10 years of poverty. 10 years of watering dead dirt. The temptation to dig up the seed and plant the fast, cheap crops screamed in his mind every night. But what the mocking crowd could not see was what was happening in the dark. The tree was not dead. It was simply building its empire underground. For 10 years, it refused to grow upward. Instead, it drove its roots miles beneath the bedrock, searching for the deep, hidden rivers that the fast crops could never reach. In the 11th year, the great drought arrived. The sky turned to brass. The shallow wells dried up. The fast-growing crops, with their shallow roots, died in a matter of days. The wealth of the impatient farmers vanished into thin air. The entire valley was pushed to the absolute brink of starvation. And then, the ground began to tremble. Overnight, the earth cracked open. The ancient seed, having finally secured its foundation in the deep waters below, exploded toward the sky. It grew with violent speed, unfurling massive, indestructible branches that cast a shadow over the dying village. It was not just wood and leaves. The branches were heavy with a massive, nutrient-dense fruit. The roots were pulling up thousands of gallons of pure water from the deep earth, flooding the old man's land with life. The neighbors who had mocked him for a decade approached his gate. They were starving, stripped of their pride, fully expecting the old man to turn them away and let them die. But a man who has mastered patience has no room for petty revenge. He opened his gates. He did not ask for their silver, and he did not demand their apologies. He fed them from his branches. He saved the valley. But more importantly, he gave them the true gift. He handed each farmer a new seed from the great tree, and for the first time, they sat in the dirt and listened as he taught them the brutal, beautiful art of doing the invisible work.
The people of the valley were trapped in an illusion. They planted shallow, fast-growing crops, demanding instant rewards. Within weeks, their fields turned green, and they celebrated their quick wealth. But the old man ignored the noise. He chose a single patch of barren earth. He spent days just breaking the surface, burying a strange, ancient seed deep into the cold, silent dark. 1 year passed, then 5, then 10. The old man's dirt remained completely empty. The wealthy farmers mocked his empty hands as he poured water onto a patch of ground that gave him nothing back. But what the crowd could not see was what was happening in the dark. The old man used patience as his faith. While they harvested cheap grains, his seed refused to grow upward. It was busy driving its roots miles beneath the bedrock, searching for hidden rivers. In the 11th year, the great drought arrived. The sky turned to brass and the shallow wells vanished. The fast crops with no deep foundation instantly turned to ash. The wealth of the impatient farmers vanished into thin air. And then the ground began to tremble. The ancient seed, anchored in the deep waters below, exploded toward the sky. It grew with violent speed, unfurling massive branches that provided life-saving fruit to the entire starving valley. We human beings always want everything to come fast. We rush the harvest. But you cannot cheat the training phase. The formula for success is simple. Patience plus determination. Without determination, you will never begin the journey. Without patience, you will never finish it. If you do not build your hidden resources in the dark, your success cannot survive the storm. Stop envying those with fast, shallow results. Stop demanding instant rewards. Commit to the invisible work, build your foundation, and let the giant exhaust itself. This is new birth. Control your rhythm, stay determined, and let your roots find the deep water.